I was forced into a blind date, then woke up after a night I couldn't remember. I never planned to get married, not because I couldn't, but because I refused to tie myself to someone who only saw my money. And in my world, that's all anyone ever saw. My name is Jack Lawson, heir to Lawson Group, raised in wealth, surrounded by power, but completely controlled by one person, my grandmother. And the older I got, the more she made one thing clear. If I didn't get married before I turned 30, I would lose everything. My inheritance, my position as CEO, my entire future. At first, I thought it was just pressure, the usual family expectations, until the legal documents showed up, signed and finalized. She wasn't bluffing. She meant every word. But I still refused, because I would rather walk away from billions than live a life with someone who didn't truly want me. So she started setting me up, blind dates, endless blind dates, different women, same intentions. They smiled too much, asked the wrong questions, cared too quickly about things that didn't matter, and I rejected every single one of them. Until one day, my grandmother changed her strategy. She told me, "This one doesn't know who you are." And that was the first time I actually paused. She explained everything, no luxury car, no branded clothes, no introduction, just a simple man meeting a woman, no titles, no wealth, just me. I didn't agree, but I didn't walk away either. So the date was arranged. A small, quiet restaurant, nothing special, no cameras, no attention, just a normal place. At the same time, the girl I was supposed to meet got the wrong information. She heard she was being set up with some unknown man. No background, no status, nothing impressive. In her mind, that translated to one thing. A broke man, someone struggling, someone she didn't want to waste her time on. So she made a decision without even meeting me. She refused to go. And I had no idea. I showed up on time, sat down, waited calmly, thinking she might just be late. 10 minutes passed, then 30, then an hour. I checked my phone, nothing. I stayed anyway, convincing myself there was a reason. Maybe traffic, maybe hesitation, maybe she needed time. 2 hours passed, and that's when it hit me. She wasn't coming. I sat there feeling something I hadn't felt in years, rejection. Not because I cared about her, but because for the first time, someone rejected me without even knowing who I was. I almost laughed at how ironic it was. So I decided to leave, but before I stood up, I ordered a glass of wine, just one. Something to clear my head, something to end the night. That's when everything started going wrong. Across the room, someone had noticed me. Daniel, the son of my father's biggest business rival. Someone who had always been looking for an opportunity to humiliate our family. He recognized me instantly, even without the usual appearance, and instead of confronting me, he chose something worse. He walked past me casually, spoke to a waiter, slipped him money, and within minutes, another glass was placed in front of me. I questioned it briefly, but the waiter said it was complimentary. I didn't think twice. I drank it, and at first nothing happened. Then slowly, the room shifted. My vision blurred. My body felt heavier than usual, like something was pulling me down. I tried to stand, but my legs didn't respond properly. That's when I realized something was wrong. But it was too late. My thoughts slowed, my reactions delayed, and suddenly 2 men were beside me, lifting me up like I weighed nothing. I tried to fight, but my strength wasn't there. My voice barely came out. Everything around me felt distant, like I was watching my own body from far away. Then I heard Daniel's voice clearly. "Take him upstairs," followed by something that made my chest tighten. "Call the girls." And in that moment, I understood exactly what they were planning. And I couldn't stop it, couldn't even move, until a voice cut through everything. Sharp, firm, unexpected. "Stop, he's with me." Everything paused. The men hesitated. Daniel turned, and I felt someone grab my arm, not aggressively, but protectively. "He's my boyfriend," she said without hesitation. Her voice steady, confident, like she wasn't afraid of anything. Daniel laughed, clearly not convinced. "Doesn't look like he knows you." And without missing a beat, she replied, "That's because he's drunk. Now let him go." There was a moment of tension, a silent standoff. Then Daniel sighed, annoyed more than anything. "Not worth it," he said, waving his hand. And just like that, they let me go. She didn't wait. She held on to me and guided me away quickly, step by step, keeping me from collapsing. I don't remember the walk. I don't remember the elevator. All I remember is the feeling of her holding me steady while everything else spun out of control. The next clear moment was a room. Dim lights, soft silence, and her standing near the door, breathing heavily, like she had just taken a huge risk. "You're safe now," she said quietly. I tried to respond, but my words were slurred, my body still not fully under my control. She turned to leave, probably thinking her job was done. but I reached for her, my hand closing around hers without thinking. "Don't go," I said, barely able to form the words. She froze, clearly conflicted. "You'll be fine," she said, trying to pull away. But I held on tighter, not out of intention, but because my body refused to let go. Everything after that blurred together. Emotions, confusion, closeness, two strangers caught in a moment neither of us planned. And by morning, everything had changed. She woke up first, reality hitting her all at once. She looked at me, a complete stranger, and panic took over. She didn't know my name, didn't know my life, didn't know anything except what had happened, and the weight of it overwhelmed her. She got dressed quickly, grabbed her things, and left without making a sound, carrying nothing but confusion and regret, and a secret she didn't even fully understand yet. When I woke up, my head was pounding, memories broken into fragments. Flashes of a voice, a presence, a feeling, but nothing clear enough to hold on to. I looked around. Empty room. No sign of her. Just silence. Then one detail surfaced in my mind. Something small but unforgettable. A tiny heart-shaped tattoo on the left side of her chest. That was all I had. No name, no face, just that single detail. And somehow, it stayed with me. Years passed, and despite everything, I still didn't get married. My grandmother kept pushing, threatening, reminding me of what I stood to lose. But I couldn't shake that night. Not because of what happened, but because of how real it felt. She didn't know who I was, didn't care, didn't want anything. She just helped me, and disappeared. And that stayed with me more than anything else. Meanwhile, somewhere else, she was dealing with the consequences of that night. Months later, she discovered she was pregnant. Alone, scared, unsure of what to do. But she chose to keep the child. Then life surprised her again. It wasn't one child. It was two. Twins, a boy and a girl. And from that moment on, her life became a constant struggle. Working part-time jobs, studying, raising two children alone. No support, no father, just determination and quiet strength. She never knew who I was, never knew where to find me. And over time, she convinced herself that it didn't matter. Until years later, everything changed again. I was visiting one of our company branches for a routine inspection. Nothing special, just another day. Until I saw them. Two kids running across the lobby, laughing, carefree. Something about them caught my attention instantly. Couldn't explain it, but I felt it. Then I saw her, standing behind them, still pretty, more tired, but still the same presence, the same eyes. And when she turned slightly, I saw it. That small heart-shaped tattoo, exactly where I remembered. And in that moment, everything clicked. The night, the memory, the mystery. It was her. After all these years, I had finally found her. But what I didn't know yet, what I couldn't possibly know in that moment, was that those two children running around were mine. But just then, while I was staring at them, the private investigator I hired years ago to find her called me. "We found the girl from 6 years ago with a heart-shaped tattoo on her left chest. She is here with me."